Can you guys see my screen? If you can see my screen, just indicate either by a thumbs up or just with an emoji. All right, thank you very much. So okay, so uh, thank you very much. So uh, yeah, so my name is Samaila Anthony Malima. That's who I am. A Web3 developer advocate and a lead ambassador with Web3.js, also an ambassador with Alchemy, someone who is passionate about decentralized application, right? So what we'll be looking at, um, we'll be looking at introduction to blockchain. So then yes, what we'll be expecting in this after this class. So we'll have an understanding of the fundamental of blockchain. We'll get a look at the features that make blockchain transformative, and then we'll see how the comparison between the traditional database and that of the blockchain database. So yes, so first of all, if you are going to start anything, you need to have a clear understanding of what the meaning of some of those keywords are. So we'll be looking at what is blockchain, right? And then we'll look at them bit by bit and then see how they relate in our day-to-day activities, and they have a clear understanding such a way that as a marketer or as a social media specialist or as a designer, as a founder, or whatever class you go to, you'll be applying this particular blockchain into real world um, life, then we need to understand. So based on my material here that I put down, so the meaning of blockchain is a decentralized application, right? So distributed ledger technology that recorded transaction across multiple computers in a way that ensure that data are very, very secure, transparent, and tamper-proof. What do we mean? We have three keywords in that phrase: secure, transparency, and then tamper-proof. So when we look at those keywords, we need to understand what we mean by something is secure, right? We mean that we are confident that whatever we are storing in that particular system, we have a confidence that we can go and have a sleep without having a second thought that someone would is going to steal that thing. Then we talk about transparency. We are trying to we explain it in such a way that there's no hidden agenda behind that. That every information you see, it is transparent, clear, known to every other person, right? Then we talk of tamper proof in the sense that whatever is recorded in that block, it will not be changed. That's what it means. So if there's one thing you will uh, grab or take a good record of today that you will never forget about definition of what blockchain is, just look at blockchain as something that is secure, transparent, and then tamper proof. Then so we look at the key concept of what made blockchain, right? So you cannot discuss blockchain without talking about blockchain and then ledger, right? So as a in decentralized world, when we go back to how system works before, we go back to how the um, the document are being stored in the files in an office, organization, or wherever, right? So this is where you need to look at it, because it's just going to be going to that particular answer. So we look at concept keywords like block, and then we look at chains, we look at ledger. So we talk about block as a container that hold a set of transaction or data. So look at block as a file whereby all, let's say a company want to hire for a particular role, right? There will be a collection of CVs, information about all the candidates, to the point whereby company decided that, oh, we are going for a candidate A, right? So look at blockchain in that particular aspect. Look at that particular word as a that word block as a container that holds a set of transaction or a data. Then when we talk about chain, right, we talk about chain in the aspect of blockchain, a series of blocks linked together in a linear or chronological order using a cryptographical hashes. So we will be looking at how these cryptographical hashes are being done, where um, uh, keys are being generated in the blockchain. Maybe by next tomorrow, the Wednesday, we'll be looking at how these are being generated in the real world. Then we talk about ledger, a digital record for a transaction maintained and shared among network participants, right? So this is what just summarize the core concept or the key concept of what this blockchain are. When you look at on this, there's a particular simple graphical that representation I did here, where this is an example of a block representation of block in blockchain. So you see a hashes, if you pay attention very well, you see a hashes with a series of different numbers representation of what that particular destiny is. So so now we talk about okay, let's talk about the core principle of blockchain. So blockchain remove the need for a trusted intermediary by enabling decentralized peer-to-peer system for data exchange. So when we talk about peer-to-peer trust that happen between two parties, so let's say myself, Malima, want to perform a particular business with another person, um, uh, let's say Anthony, right? So without the need of any other, Anthony does not know who Malema is and where Malema live, right? So, but the trust that make them carry out that particular transaction at that moment is what it called a peer-to-peer transaction that happen, right? So analogy, thinks of a system as a public notebook, right? Let's look at I talk about a file where we have a series of different documents about information about a particular candidate, right? So those are some of the things. Then we'll be looking at the evolution of this blockchain technology. How does it start, when, because those are the key things we need to understand. So because even if you are going during interview, these are the questions that you will be asked. You don't need to know how to write a code. As a content writer, as a social media specialist, or as a marketer, or as a growth marketer, depending on the kind of role. As far as you are not writing a smart contract, right, you need to have a understanding of how this system started and the technologies move, grow, whatever, all these things. So the evolution of blockchain technology, let's look at the timeline. In 1991, the cryptographic chain of block concept by Heber and Stonetta. Sorry if I murder the name. Don't mind. You know, I'm a Nigerian and also a northern guy. So don't, please. I'm so sorry for that. Yep. So the concept cryptographically secure chain of blockchain was first proposed by Stout, Haber, and W. Scott Steinhardt, who prevented tampering with digital timestamp, right? Then in 2008, that is where the group of people or a single person called Satoshi Nakamoto introduced the Bitcoin and its underlying technology, blockchain, as a way to solve a double spending problem without the need for a central authority. So there has been an issue whereby intermediary third party has to come before spending take place. So this period, that's when Satoshi Nakamoto, I don't know whether it's a single person or the group of company till today, the identity is yet to be revealed, but all we know that the group or the person behind the Bitcoin and blockchain introduction was Satoshi Nakamoto. So have that in mind. In case you are asked somewhere, you'll be able to provide that. Then in 2005, 15, yeah, so sorry for that. In 2015, Ethereum and smart contract expanded, right? So in 2015, Ethereum was launched, introducing smart contract programmable logic that expand blockchain application beyond the mindset, what people knew as blockchain is all about cryptocurrency, right? So that was when, because Ethereum was purposely designed in order to create an avenue whereby solutions will be built on this particular technology called the blockchain. So Ethereum was created in order to allow different solutions to build on top it. Then in 2000, in the year 2020s till date, that is when the bubbling behind the decentralization, decentralized finance, and the non-fungible tokens begin to happen, where we begin to talk about the Bo apps, the different decentralized finance applications that has been happening, where a lot of transaction has been happening. We have different, we talk about application like solution like the Polygon, all the layers 1, layer 2s, and the rest of them happening till today, whereby currently we are in the bull market, whereby a lot of the conversation is around the infrastructure and the AI agent that allows you to build solution using the artificial intelligence. Yeah. Then we look at the futures of blockchains, right? So on the futures of blockchain, we've talked about decentralization. So unlike the traditional system with a central authority, sorry if you guys can hear me, can I get somebody to respond so that I will know that I'm not talking to myself?
I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, all right, thank you very much. Yeah, so yeah, okay, good. So decentralization,
We can
unlike
hear
the,
you. We can hear you.
all right, decentralization, unlike the traditional system with a central authority, right? Blockchain operate on a peer-to-peer network where all participants or nodes, that is nodes, I don't know how to share to explain this node. So nodes are shared equally without so okay, let's look at a solution solving a problem of a third party coming into a transaction. Let's say in real estate, we have some group of people called agent, right? These are people that are in between the tenant and the landlord, right? So these people tend to raise the price of the asset, which is the house rent or the asset you want to sell, right? So they try to get their own share of percentage. So, but in the decentralized world, that particular intermediary is being cut off. So the transaction happen between the owner and the user, that is the tenant and the landlord. So some of the key benefit is it eliminates single point of failure and reduces dependency on centralized entities. Centralized entities, in the sense we look at example of centralized entities like the banks, the commercial banks. So look at it in a way that you take your money to UBA. So sorry if I use that. If you work in UBA, I'm so sorry I'm using that. Just it's an example. You take your money to UBA. UBA has a solemn authority access to all your funds, right? And they have every right to do anything with your funds at any time. So you it's just out of confidence that you trust them with your money. So but in decentralized world, there's no intermediate, there's nobody in charge. Even the person building that particular decentralized, let's say you we build an application called a decentralized saving box, right? This decentralized saving box, myself, an engineer that build the smart contract. These smart contracts will be built in such a way that after deploying it to blockchain network, I will not be able to have access to anybody registering or performing transaction in this decentralized saving box. I don't know whether somebody get that point. Then we talk about transparency. Transaction are happen in a public, in the sense that every transaction, okay, Mr. A saved 10,000. Everybody in that chain validate that yes, Mr. A has saved 10,000. So without, in the sense that knowing that Mr. A has saved 10,000 does not grant you access to tamper with Mr. A's asset. Mr. A has solemn is the only person that can decide to withdraw his own asset at any time. So good example is anyone can view Bitcoin transaction, or yes, Bitcoin transaction through a blockchain explorer like the Etherscan. So we'll be looking at how you'll be able to view your transaction in Etherscan when we come tomorrow or next tomorrow. We'll be looking at that. Then we talk about immutability. I say something about immutability. Data cannot be altered, in the sense that when you add, let's say you add 10,000 into your account, I myself that I created that system, I have no access to changing the record in your transaction. So ensuring that records are tamper proof, in the sense that the good part of it is it provides tamper proof record and crucial for security and audit Yeah. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yes. So we'll be talking about the um, okay. Yes. So in today's modules, we'll be looking at, let me see. Yeah. So we'll be looking at the blockchain. That's comparison between the blockchain and then the traditional database. You know, the main purpose of database was to eliminate the traditional way of storing information using the files, right? So in blockchain, there is a similarity with the olden traditional database. So the structures of the blockchains is linked using chains of blocks. That is block one. I think I have a good example somewhere here. Yeah, we see where block 1 is linked using this particular chain to block 2, to block 3, and to block 4. So by next tomorrow, I think someone's mic is omitted. Can that person do that? So so these chains, block A, block B, block C, that's block 1, block 2, are connected using these particular chains, and then the three block is going to hash a different hash algorithm. So sorry, I'm using those terminology, but I'll still continue to use it. That's the good part of it. So in traditional block that database, we uses tables, rows, and columns. While in central authorities in blockchain, we uses decentralization. While in traditional database, we uses centralization. Centralization in the sense that your account officer has every right to view every of your transaction, your total amount in the database. They are monitoring your system, so that is there's somebody behind that would be able to change if the person decide, or if authority is given to him. Then we talk about data modification. So in blockchain, immutability, once written, it cannot be changed, while in traditional it can be modified by administrator or the admin. Like I said, your account officer serve as your admin. That's the reason why when you open account with a commercial bank or bid whatever, you will be assigned an account officer, because this is this particular person, so that will be able to have access and do some correction into your this thing. Then transparency in blockchain, it's fully transparent for public blockchain. So note that blockchain, we have three type of blockchain, which we have public, private, and the hybrid blockchain, right? So public blockchain, it is good example of public blockchain is the MetaMask, right? And private blockchain, a good example is your Binance, right? That's the reason when you are creating your Binance wallet, if you have tried out, and we'll see how to create one, and then we'll see the difference when we are creating a decentralized wallet like MetaMask, Phantom wallet. We'll see how those difference. Just create, and you don't need to submit any KYC in the public blockchain wallet. While in the private blockchain, you need to submit KYC, because it is a semi-traditional database operating in that place, because there's somebody behind trying to validate if you are actually a human being trying to carry out those transactions. Then security in blockchain, where it operates in a high security, it's secure through cryptographic hashes, while in traditional system, it's depend on the administrator control. Then cost can be expensive due to mining or staking, while in traditional, that's in blockchain, you know how expensive is to be able to mine blockchain is, because the cost of power and everything. Then in traditional database, cost depend on the central server and database scale. So for today, uh, since we are looking at just introductory, we are not going to spend much time. So after this, we just do a conclusion, and then we just do like an interactive section whereby we ask question, and then we'll respond to it. Yeah. So okay, thank you very much for based on today's curriculum. Um, If you have any question, you can shoot. Let me check the message whether there's some question behind. Okay. Okay, no question. No question. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
All right. So
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yes, sir.
all right, 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 all right. Okay. Yes. Okay, someone is asking to explain more about hybrid blockchain, right? Yeah, thank you very much for that question. Okay, to explain more about hybrid blockchain. So, I talk about public, private, and then hybrid, right? So, let's look at the concept. When we say something is hybrid, we means it has a future of public and also a future of private, right? So let me I just want to let you understand something that uh, yeah, yes. So there are a lot of solutions that commercial bank currently, right, uh, they build using a hybrid, in the sense that it's using solemnly blockchain, but they are not operating it as private, but it's hybrid blockchains technology they are running on it, right? So they do. Am I jumping any question so that I will not miss anybody's question? So yeah, I think I'm responding to this hybrid. So hybrid blockchain, um, it's semi-public, right? And it does not operate solemnly, like the solution requires some level of KYCs to be able to carry out the those. So that's why when you are building solution, let's say in a country like Nigeria, you need to have a lot of regulatory certification to be able to perform your transaction. Let's say if you are building a solution that is going to ease transaction, maybe onboard more users into the buying and selling in the market, whereby people market will be able to use that technology. And now, because you need to get a certification or a approval from the central bank, right? The reason is that you need to comply with the the country monetary policies, right? So you are going to require some level of, even though your solution is going to give users will see it as they are operating in a decentralized, while you know that there's a level to which transaction will happen, the user need to perform some KYCs. While in reason why I'm saying this is, like, for you to begin transaction in Binance, first, when you open your Binance wallet, first what you need to do, you need to provide your KYC. That is, you need to provide a either valid ID card, be it, yeah, national ID card, international passport. Then you do your first verification, and when it is approved, you have your wallet that you will be able to receive fund on it anywhere in the world. But when, if it is and then let's say you want to carry out transaction, after that you can carry out any amount of transaction. But when you want, maybe the amount you want to perform the transaction get to some certain level, Binance will require, because they want to have a show that yes, of course it is you, in case it's not this transaction is not happening as a result of money laundering and the rest of those things, right? So those I believe I do justice to that. If I don't, I'll be able to share some. Yeah, maybe you can just check the internet is an open source. We'll get more information on that. So the next question says, what is the difference between blockchain and Bitcoin? Okay, so blockchain is a technology, like I said from the beginning, right? Blockchain is a distributed ledger that record transaction across multiple computer, right? So see blockchain as a technology or an era of another internet. Then Bitcoin, so sorry, so sorry. Yeah, then Bitcoin is a coin. Do you understand? Bitcoin is a coin that operate in the blockchain network. That's the first coin that was approved in year 2008, because Bitcoin was the first legal, I would say legal tender that was approved to carry out in order to remove the barrier that was happening in a financial market. So Bitcoin was the one that was used to be able to carry out the trade by barter. Let me take you back to trade by barter, whereby you give me a cowrie and you collect a book, or you give me 20 cowrie, you collect one cow. I like using that, right? So see it that way. So Bitcoin is a coin, a cryptocurrency. When you say currency, let's look at Naira. Naira is a currency that is legally accepted in Nigeria, right? And it has its unit as NG, while Bitcoin has its unit as BTC. I hope I have done justice to that question. So the people that their hands are up, I'm trying to respond to this. So you said MetaMask is a public blockchain. Can you throw more? Yes. So yes, of course, MetaMask is a public blockchain. It's a wallet that is created on a public blockchain. Reason is, if I want to create a MetaMask wallet now, I don't have to provide my ID card, my take my picture or my name before I will be able to have my own wallet. Do you understand? So see it. Binance is a wallet, right? But for you to make use of Binance, receive funds, send funds, you have to carry out your KYC. While in MetaMask, you don't need any KYC. All you need is to keep your key phrase, that's your 24 or 12 keywords, safe, because that's the only access. In case if you forget your password, that's the only thing that will make you retrieve that your wallet back. But in Binance, if you forget your password, as far as you can remember your email, you'll be able to do a password reset, in the sense that Binance will be able to give you opportunity to give you opportunity. So yes, so because my system, the power and my system is almost going to die, let me go sharp sharp and then respond to those other people. Yeah, KYC is non your customer. Yes, good. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay, I'm coming. Just a minute. I want to switch to another laptop. Wow. Wow. Okay, 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 okay. So yes, Okoro, can you shoot? I see your hands up. I think we have like two people. Okoro, turn your mic or mute and then speak if you can. Is it Okoro or okay?